Recording.
Hi, I'm Father,
And I'm Son.
and together, we're Father and Son. And FNS is brought to you by EvCo Productions, where we prioritize content. You remember that reference?
How old is that?
It's
How
old,
old?
dude. It's from like episode 5 or 6 of the first season, I think.
Oh my gosh, prioritize content. I heard that. I was like, what? Whoa,
I thought
whoa.
I thought you would be I thought you would enjoy that little throwback.
Like core memory awakened. What the hell,
I
dude? That
know.
messed with my
I
head. Excuse
couldn't
my language. But...
I couldn't sleep last night, and just to like try to lull myself to sleep, I listened to old FNS episodes.
Why?
Just to get myself tired, because when I'm up at like 1 a.m., I don't want to actually like do any work to get myself
Say our
tired,
content's boring.
and I don't want to stare at screens either. So
I know.
podcast is the perfect thing to
No,
do for
I
that.
agree.
However, I would say that careful asking questions like, "You think our podcast is boring?" because then our comment section might turn into something we don't want it to.
Hey, we just change it to the boring podcast, and then what are they gonna do about it, huh?
Honestly, we should have called this the Boring Podcast. That should have been our title.
That would have been a good name, but I think it's already a thing.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. We've
All
had this
good names are
conversation
taken.
before. Not this one particularly, but about another word, I think.
Oh,
So,
well, anyway.
anywho.
So what do Taco Bell, Whataburger, Chick-fil-A, and frickin' Burger King have in common?
I'm going to start today off by talking about a fast food chain.
Well, we're just gonna we're gonna talk the whole time about fast food chains.
I'm aware,
Specifically,
but what do they have in common? They're fast food chains. That's what I was trying to get at.
yeah, I know. I just thought that you took the long route there.
I feel like you were going to go on for a long time about it. I thought it was funnier to cut it off.
I wasn't gonna go on for a long time about it.
All right. Now, to go on for a long time about my story and why I was annoyed with Taco Bell today.
Okay.
So, I'm going to set the stage. I don't order for Taco Bell often. It's not real Mexican food, so that annoys me, making me not really like Taco Bell. But I'll eat there occasionally if there's nothing that's like will satiate me. I know they'll have
It's
like
not even real Tex-Mex food. Like there's knockoffs, and then there's knockoffs of the knockoffs, and that's what Taco Bell is.
That's what Taco Bell is, right? So I ordered from them because I just did, and I've ordered from them like maybe 2 or 3 times over the course of like 6 months, right? With that, I guess the time before that, I did not receive something that I was supposed to. Something that was on there that said fries. On DoorDash, it says you're supposed to receive small fries with your order if you have a meal. So I assumed I was supposed to receive fries. So the next time, in the special instructions, I put, please send fries. Along with it, please send the fries with a question mark. Not question mark, with an exclamation mark. Sort of passive aggressive, maybe. I didn't think that they would know that. It wasn't an angry writing. It was simply, hey, please send the fries. That's what I said. And apparently I had asked that one too many times to the wrong person because I received 3 notes with my meal. I will now read you the first one. This was taped to the outside of my food, mind you. The first one says, we don't have fries, so stop asking for something we don't got. They did put an apostrophe between the N and the T for don't, which I appreciated. But the don't got isn't actually English, so I was wondering if they possibly had some issues. Then the next note, a little bit better. This was on surrounding my one of my food choices. It says again, be educated that we don't got fries. And then they put it around my tacos this time. Clearly the menu doesn't have the fries option, so stop asking. If you're wondering, yes, the first thing I saw made me upset. But looking inside my bag and seeing each one of my things individually wrapped in something sent me over the fucking edge. I was not in a good place. I got up. I was legitimately about to go be a Karen. I was going to complain directly to the manager about that because number one, it was not my fault. I did not deserve that sass. I was doing it because I was being told I was supposed to receive something. I wasn't receiving something. Now, whether that was DoorDash's fault or my fault doesn't matter. What matters is that DoorDash's fault or Taco Bell's fault doesn't matter. What matters is that the menu was wrong. It needed to get fixed, and obviously it hadn't been fixed in a while. It had been there long enough that since the first time I ordered from them, which was months ago, that it was still there, right?
Okay, I have a question though. I thought Taco Bell had the nacho fries, or did they already get rid of those?
They probably don't have them anymore, and they were supposed to remove them or something. It was a small order of fries that was supposed to go with it. That's all I know.
Are nacho fries back still at Taco Bell?
Probably
yes,
not.
It says yes, nacho fries are back.
Well, apparently this place didn't have it. That's all I can say. And I was not liking the fact that I was getting sassed by somebody that wasn't particularly swell at writing English. So if they had said it in a manner that was at least correct, it would have said that they would give enough care about it to write in proper English to insult me. You know,
I hate to tell you, but I mean, I'm surprised that I've never seen or heard you be anywhere close to a Karen before. I actually didn't realize this was part of your personality.
It's not. This infuriated me.
But it clearly is.
The only reason, this is why it annoyed me the most, was not specifically because they did this. It was because, A, they didn't have enough oomph in them to write in proper English, but they had enough oomph in them to wrap individual things in my food. That's what pissed me off. Is that they didn't take the time to put proper English, but no. These are on receipt things. They individually printed out a part of a receipt, grabbed extra tape that says "Enjoy safely," and wrapped it around after they already wrapped my food.
Okay.
So they put it on the outside of one of my things. So I was like, well, that's really annoying. And I thought they were done. And then they put these two other sassy things around each one of my individual foods. So that as I ate, I had to read their little sassy notes. Okay? I'm not a Karen. I don't like acting like one. I worked in fast food. That shit sucks. People are mean. People are annoying. I worked in retail. They're mean. They're annoying. No one likes them. But I never once was insulting to a customer that wasn't aggressive first. If I wasn't trying to defend somebody, or if they weren't just flat out insulting me and cussing me out right then and there, I was not once aggressive. Or at least
they must have thought you were being aggressive when you sent that.
Definitely wasn't. All I said was they had gotten annoyed that I'd asked multiple times. Apparently,
you had the bomb emoji and the red anger face emoji and the gun emoji.
They were annoyed that I had asked multiple times. That was the reasoning. They were vexed that I had asked for the same thing multiple times. That's what sent them over the edge.
I mean, honestly, I'm kind of. It's not that I don't sympathize with you here, but I'm kind of just leaning towards their end of it, to be honest, because like you said, fast food and retail and that kind of job sucks, and I'm probably what I'm picturing is that.
I'll be right back.
What? Jared, you can't just. And see, it wouldn't matter if you were going to cut this out, but I know that you're not going to cut it out.
Let me read to you what I said in order to see if I was being an asshole for what I was doing. And I've ordered from them 4 times, I think. 4 times, I believe.
Okay.
All right. So what I said was, I go to my Taco Bell. I go to the special order. Mind you, the special order was printed on it. So let me see if they have it here yet. I said, please give me my fries like it says too, with an exclamation point. Also, no sour cream. That was it.
You said, please give me my fries, like that full sentence?
Yeah, please give me my fries, like it says, comma, 2. Also, no sour cream.
Yeah, I could see where they would think that's a little demanding.
Maybe, but it's not sassy enough to warrant writing an entire letter to me.
Okay, but you see, you didn't let me finish.
Especially if I'm paying for food, and I'm not trying to get. And also, the worst part about it is that it was obvious that this was in the special instructions and that DoorDash should save that. I only ever sent that once. I sent it once, and then I forgot that it saved it on there. DoorDash saves your special options on an order every time.
Okay, but see, they don't know that DoorDash
They do know
made
that
the
because they work
mistake.
with DoorDash. Yes, they do. They're required to know
They
about
don't.
DoorDash.
They don't know that it left it on there.
Okay,
They think it's
Evan. If they're
Jared.
remembering that I asked for fries multiple times,
It's
they're
not
gonna
the
remember,
same people giving you food every time, dude. It's different workers.
then how the hell did they know that I was asking for fries multiple times?
Because one guy who's probably, you didn't let me finish my first argument. One guy who's probably like 16 and working there and hates his life probably remembered, and he probably wasn't even the one taking the order. He probably was there in the background. He's like, oh, that's the guy who's always asking for fries. And as I was going to say, I think you're just forgetting that, like you said, fast food jobs suck, and them all getting together and laughing about this and writing these notes was probably the highlight of their entire week. And I think you just need to like keep in mind that like emotionally this was a nice surprise for them, was to have this joke on you. I realize that it's not good customer service or whatever, but like we all know damn well that nobody working at a Taco Bell actually cares about customer service. I wouldn't care about it if I were working there, and I probably wouldn't even care to pretend otherwise because, you know, they don't pay you enough. I just
Cool.
I think it's a little.
I understand that. They still have a job to do, and it's not to insult the customers.
Okay, well,
It's fast food for a reason. They obviously had plenty of time.
I think that they just had a momentary loss of self-control. I mean, I know personally that I came close many a time to saying some not so nice things back in my
Did you ever
retail
do
days.
it?
I'm trying to. I feel like I
To
should
customer.
have, but I don't know that I did. No, well,
You
no,
said something.
because here's the difference, though. Here's the difference. I didn't have the chance to write a note, and if I'd said something face to face, and plus Market Street's a little more hands-on than Taco Bell, like I would have gotten fired.
Yeah, this is what. Well, I mean, I called them and I asked them about it. Just because I wasn't a dick. I wasn't like being like fire that person. What I did talk about was I was like, why is this still on DoorDash? If that's what I was more annoyed about too, is the fact that I wasn't wrong. I was getting yelled at for a reason that wasn't my fault. Is that it was still on DoorDash. I was thinking that I wasn't getting paid, or I was paying for something that I wasn't receiving. That's what kind of annoyed me.
Oh.
And it was just fries. Like, I'm not too mad about it, but like, if I was completely in the right for it, and I'm still getting like sassed at for no reason in particular, I've ordered from them like 3 times. Yeah, it might be an inconvenience and annoyance that you see a message on there that says, hey, could you guys please send the fries, right? There's no reason to take the time to write a paragraph of stuff asking me individually to stop doing something, especially if
like
I'm not wrong. Because it's the best part that says clearly the menu doesn't have the fries option. When it clearly does, and I can screenshot it and send it.
This feels like something that Donkey would say if he was prank calling a Taco Bell.
Yeah,
he'd be like, "Please send fries."
Exactly. I just wanted the damn fries. I wanted what I ordered for. Like, if I'm ordering something and I want it, I want to eat all of it, you know? And it's okay if I don't get it. I'd like to have an explanation. Like, if they had sent me a message that simply said, hey... Oh, I'm sorry. If they had sent me a message that said simply, hey, we don't have fries. I'm sorry. Could you please stop sending that? I would be like, oh, yeah. Shoot, I'm sorry. I won't do that again. And I would have removed it immediately. You know? Yeah. But they didn't. They sent a sassy message.
I do want to bring a little attention to DoorDash. The reason being, I am unfamiliar with it in both, like I've not worked for it. I do know someone who has done some work with DoorDash. Greg and Charlie actually clean up on Saturday nights occasionally, as they've told me. And I've never ordered using DoorDash. So if you have, then I actually have a question for you. How much more do you pay for just the process of getting food? Because, like, aren't you sending money to both DoorDash and Taco Bell?
I order enough food that I use something called Dash Pass, which if I have an order over $12 eliminates the extra fee.
Okay, but then how does the DoorDash employee get the money?
Because the DoorDash employee, if it's over a certain amount, they pay out of pocket. So I pay monthly. I pay a monthly fee with DoorDash to get a certain amount, right?
Okay.
So if I pay $8 a month to get rid of all of that, by the time that I'm done ordering like 5 or 6 times a month at least, and I order like more than that. If I'm done ordering that much, then I've already overpaid, or I've already like paid less than I would if I had just DoorDash the same amount, right?
Okay, I didn't realize there was a monthly pay for DoorDash.
Mm-hmm. That's
I
why
know it was like a subscription thing.
That's why they have so much because of that reason.
Okay. Well,
but, yeah,
like
that was my first snafu, and I did in fact call the people at Taco Bell and I asked them what was up, and the lady was super cool, and I was like very much like, I'm sorry for messing up your day. I didn't want to. I'm just hoping that like maybe you can figure it out with DoorDash. Just wanted to let you know, and I wasn't fire and brimstone. I wasn't Karen. I wanted to be, but I wasn't. I was just simply asking about the DoorDash and saying, "Hey, somebody said this. I don't know. I don't think that's very cool to send that to a customer. Maybe don't freak out on them, but just like let them know that DoorDash was messed up. Because DoorDash needs to fix that. If not." And she was like, "Yep, I totally understand. You have a good day, baby." And I was like, "Oh, my heart." Oh, so,
careful, Jerry. You can't impersonate. That. Never mind. It's controversial now, Jer. I think.
yeah, whatever. She was nice.
You've heard of blackface? That's like black voice. That's what.
Shut the fuck up. Stop talking. You're digging yourself into a much deeper hole.
I'm not digging myself into a hole. It's you who did it.
You brought attention to it for no reason.
Just because I thought it'd be funny.
It was funny. That's fair.
I have one story based on DoorDash though. So, like I said, Greg has. I don't think he does it regularly. I think he just needs it when he needs to make a quick, some quick cash, as they say. But one night over the summer, he was just driving around on Saturday night doing some DoorDash, and he was going to meet up with me and Goochlog. And I don't know. I guess Greg's just terrible with scheduling in general, so I guess he just like didn't register that he was trying to work at the same hours that we were trying to meet up. So it ends up that Josh and I don't have anything to do anyway, so we just like decided to ride around with him while he does a couple DoorDash deliveries. And he gets an order from Chipotle, and he picks it up, and we drive over to the house, and the instructions, I want you to tell me if you think this is as weird as I think it is. So normally with DoorDash, my understanding is that the instructions tell you either like leave it on the porch, leave it by the door,
yes,
or knock on the door and hand it to the person, right?
Yeah.
This person, whoever they were, had the instructions say, and keep in mind, this is a regular suburban neighborhood, nothing weird about it. They say, leave the bag of food by the mailbox, which is all the way out at the curb. And I'm just like, who does that? Like, I don't know, like, were they, that sounds like one of those, like, you're just there with your buddies and you're so high and you're like, oh, dude, let's see if they leave it by the curb if we tell them to. And they were probably just watching us out their window to see if we actually did it. Like, not even in the mailbox, just beside the mailbox on the curb. Where any old raccoon could pick it up. I don't know. I just thought that was weird. But, okay, I have a specific, I do have I have at least one specific story from a fast food experience. However, this particular story shines very negative light on me in particular. So I just want you to keep in mind that I was in probably middle school, maybe even still like 5th grade at this point. But I will tell you up front that in spite of this happening so long ago, in spite of all the other questionable things I've done with my life, I still feel most guilty about this. Okay? It was my whole family. We just went to Chick-fil-A for dinner, and it was super crowded. And we were waiting in this long line. I think it probably went all the way to the door. And I look over to a table right there, and there's just it's like it was clearly occupied at one point, but it seems that the people just up and left their food. So naturally, I get like the most ginormous fry out of the little pouch and just cram it into my face. And before I've even chewed it halfway, a guy comes up to me and he's like, "Did you just steal my daughter's fry?" And I was like, because I still had my face like full of it, like I couldn't say no. I just looked at him and I said, "Hmm." like
no.
threw the food in my face. And then he just walked away. Yeah. And they just walked away. And I didn't get to see whoever his daughter was, but I just got the feeling that it was like a small child whose fry I had stolen. And I didn't really get in trouble for it in any way. Like, I think my brothers noticed. I don't think my parents did. But I've carried this burden with me for so many years, and to be honest, it feels nice to get it out there now. Hopefully, I'll feel less guilty now that people can just listen to this story at will. But yeah,
fucking fries.
I was hungry, okay, and I was stupid. I was a greedy little. I was a greedy little child. Look, in my defense. Well, in the dad's defense, it was a single fry, but again, it was the biggest fry. Like, I didn't just take a crumb, you know what I mean? but in my defense, okay, I didn't think I was stealing it. I thought that this food had been abandoned, okay? I thought that I could eat all the fries, and it wouldn't even matter. All right, there was just a misunderstanding. That was all. I really don't think it's smart. I never personally eat at a restaurant, especially a fast food restaurant, and get up to like go to the bathroom or anything and leave my food completely unattended. Because then either a waiter can come by and say, "Oh, I guess we're done with this," and get rid of it, or some punk kid like me can come by and steal some of it. So I think that it's, in spite of the huge level of guilt I've carried, I've tried to convince myself, and I really do think it's true, that not all the blame belongs on me here, okay? Yeah. I don't think that we should abandon our food in crowded restaurants.
Mm-hmm. No,
but what about you? You ever steal anything?
Steal anything? Okay, so this is something that is a little secret trade as a server in any kind of restaurant, especially a dine-in fast food restaurant, right? Or like sort of dine-in fast food restaurant. The restaurant that I used to work at, I'm not gonna name drop because I don't know if like I'm supposed to or not. But it was this Mexican restaurant.
What do you think they're gonna do if you?
I don't know. I used to work at Petra's. It's a place in McKinney. It was nice.
Yeah.
Petra's fresh Mexican bistro. Shout out Petra's. It was awesome.
Petra's is not gonna like assassinate you for saying
but I
you
didn't
used
know
to work
if I
there.
was supposed to shout out. Didn't know if I was supposed to like talk about him or something like that, or it was a bad idea saying that I used to do this whenever I worked there.
This from the guy who now works for the military, like.
Yeah, I know.
Now sounding more scared of Petra than of his current position. Petra, you know that scene in Ant-Man where they go, Baskin Robbins always finds out. It's the same thing, but Petra.
It's really funny. But no, so basically, there is a principle whenever you are working at a restaurant that is nicer, on the nicer side, but it's dine-in. It can be takeout, but it's usually dine-in, and it's not super expensive. That's what Petra's was. It was a Mexican restaurant. It was pretty nice. It had some good food, but it was served almost like a fast food style, but you could dine if you wanted to. And they had these churros that were absolutely massive. These churros were so good because I knew the cooks and they were really great, and you couldn't just take them. But for some reason, this is a thing with most people that are. I'm not gonna say wealthy, but like that come in there that have a little bit more money, right?
Upper middle class.
A little bit more time. They eat a lot of their food. They'll eat like one, maybe two of the 8 churro order, and they'll just leave the rest. And so while we would, at nighttime, if you're bussing tables and there is a complete plate of churros that hasn't touched anything, there's no bites out of it, you take that as spoils of war. And you share it with the rest of the bag. That is all I'm saying. Is that we would
Yeah.
eat so many churros on the side, and it was like every time you'd see like 6 churros uneaten, they already paid for it, so the service was already done. So you know you got the place got money for it, so it's a good thing, right? And now you're eating good. It was the best. Was just to snatch up churros. So technically, was that stealing? Probably. They had already left, and I was busting their table.
But see, there you go. That's not stealing. If you get up and leave the restaurant, that food is no longer yours.
Right there. I was not going to let it go to waste. I was doing my job. I was cleaning up after them.
Like honestly, here's what I don't understand. Obviously, in our COVID era, it's different. But like pre-pandemic, I don't understand how any restaurant could like just flat out outlaw the waste of so much food as to say like you can't eat like a churro that somebody left on their plate who's no longer here. Like
it's
I just don't understand that. I don't understand how you can throw away that much food.
It's considered unsanitary.
But how unsanitary can it be if they haven't even taken a bite out of it? Like
unsanitary enough.
And the whole thing about a restaurant is that you're like able to wash your hands and like it's not like there isn't health code that like I think it's ridiculous, honestly. And this may be because I worked at the exact opposite of a Petra or nice dine-in restaurant. I was working at a basically glorified concession stand at a basketball gymnasium for like high school games. Like so it was the exact opposite there is all I'm saying. We ate so much junk and not all of it was originally ours, and I don't know. It was a different environment, I guess, but I just think it's really the restaurantee's fault for buying food that they're not going to eat, I guess. But even so, I just hate to contribute that much to the wasting of so much food.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I just like the churros.
Look, man, I didn't want to get into a whole political debate with you. Okay, I just like me some churros.
No, I feel you. I feel what that's about, and it's just like the right to take food that's left over should be a thing, I guess, because I mean it's wasting food. It is wasting food.
Yeah.
It does annoy me that people have gotten fired over giving like stuff to like a ton of leftover food. You give it to homeless that are sitting out, and some fine. It's like it's going to be thrown away anyway. It's going to go to waste.
Right.
And people say you're not supposed to feed the dogs. Like somebody actually says that.
Yeah.
I've seen people actually say that whenever that's happened, and it's just like that's not cool. They're human beings too. They've probably made mistakes in their life, but they're humans. They deserve some form of decency being given to them. Any kindness given to them should not be treated as if you're not like you're feeding the dogs, right? It's like, I mean, even if they were, you probably wouldn't be mad if I was feeding a puppy some extra food. Like, I completely understand that you have certain standards, but the fact that that was so heavily, like, dude, it just makes me mad.
It's, I just fundamentally disagree with it on a moral, ethical level.
To say something, to call somebody a dog and then be upset whenever, like, if you were to feed an animal the same food, probably wouldn't be nearly as upset as you actually feeding a person. Is just wrong. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
I will say, there's really no excuse for stealing Whataburger numbers.
That's wrong. That is on a moral level also wrong because look at all the Whataburger numbers I have. I'm so cool. And it's like, you know how much those cost? Like,
I don't actually.
Those probably cost just enough to be like more than a mild inconvenience by the sheer amount that gets stolen. Like,
yeah, that's probably true.
It's probably like not a whole like lot of money, but they're enough that it's like, great. Now I got to put $100 every month into buying plastic numbers. Like
that said,
I definitely didn't have to.
That said, I think you were actually with me when I stole my one and only Whataburger number. I think you even encouraged it. So
probably
because it was the number one, and I was like, I didn't want to get caught.
I
but
sort of
I
remember
was
this.
like, look, it's the number one, you know? How often do you get that number? If I'm going to have any Whataburger number, it should be the number one, right? I remember you going over, like, leaning into me, just being like, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it.
I
And I was
definitely
like,
encourage this.
I was
I would
like,
never
okay,
do it
you take
myself.
yours. Yeah, I was like,
I
okay, you
definitely
take yours
encouraged it
then.
though.
But you were like, no. You're like, no, I'm not taking mine. You just take yours. I was like, here, you take mine. And you were like, no. But
I'm an instigator. I don't like doing it myself, but I like it to instigate.
yeah,
Because I
you
like
are an
to
instigator,
watch.
aren't you?
Yeah.
So you don't have any Whataburger numbers though?
I don't. Never have. Never will. I think it's
Really?
stupid,
I
but it's really
swear,
funny.
I thought you had
No,
one.
I am not one of those guys. I think Archer might, but I definitely don't.
Archer
Um,
definitely has one.
Speaking of which, we're talking about sort of Whataburger and also fast food stories. Do you remember the time that me and Archer got into a legitimate argument about art inside of a Whataburger?
No,
I don't remember if this was on the festival night, as I'll call it.
it probably
Um,
was.
but we were sitting there and we were having a legitimate argument because I was vexed that, say, for example, his art would not be getting recognition over some BS lines on a piece of white paper, whereas he was upset that I didn't consider that to be art versus his being art. I personally think Archer's a phenomenal artist and he should be much more recognized for what he does. But I also think that the things that he sometimes considers to he said that's what art is. It's a relative, which it annoys me that he's right. Even so, you can't even say you can't put good labels. To me, if it's not good art, it's not good art. It's zero effort, zero passion.
I'm confused. You were saying that art that was on paper with lines pre-printed on it doesn't count?
That okay? So let me say, for example, so you know how sometimes somebody will sell like a $2 million painting that is legitimately just a white canvas with a green stripe in the middle of it, and they'll call that art. Compared to something like artist drawings that are
I
like
thought you were talking about like if you draw on a notebook paper, it doesn't count. I was
That's not what I'm
way
saying.
confused.
Yeah, you were really
Okay.
confused. No, that's what I'm saying is that he was saying that that is art. That is art, and if somebody says that it has meaning, it is good art. And I was like, I don't believe that. There's no passion
Yeah.
there. There's no purpose behind it. It doesn't have any drive, and it's not good as yours. It's like I'm annoyed that you're not getting recognized, but that is. And he's like, that's just how it is, and that's how it's all interpreted. That's how art is. And it vexed me how much he was okay with it.
So I'm with you on this. I kind of see it this way. Like I agree. It vexes me that just the sheer laziness of somebody who can just like, you know, paint a toilet bowl or whatever and say I'm expressing myself, you know?
Exactly.
Because I like, okay, percentage wise, chances are, sure, somebody in the world
they're full of something.
has
That much.
chances are somebody in the world has like done some of that quote unquote modern art. What?
Somebody took a urinal inside an art museum and just flipped it.
I know
down.
that's what I'm. Yeah, that's what I'm referencing.
Okay, cool. Never mind.
And like chances are somebody has done something along those lines at some point and actually believed they were expressing themselves. But I would probably chalk that up to a just misunderstanding of I don't know, just like the levels that you're really supposed to go to express yourself through art. Like art, I'm not necessarily an advocate for struggling for your art either, or I should say suffering for your art. Struggling, though, makes some sense to me. Like, I don't want to sit here and suffer to write, but like, it's not easy to write. It is a struggle to write. It's not a struggle to take a urinal into an art museum and hang it upside down. Insofar as like the actual act of doing it doesn't require much from you. I'm sure it was a struggle to convince people.
The fact that they proved that point,
but
that you could take anything and make it like art, quote unquote.
Yeah,
dude, I love that person. That's the
but here's the thing though. Here's where I kind of go with Archer is like, I don't like it, I don't agree with it, but I have to accept it because it's the same thing as with like a free speech debate. Like if you ban something, then you open the door to ban anything.
Yeah,
and so I think pretty much any of that just drawing one line stuff, anything like that, like I think it's bullshit. But and I can say that, but like I'm not gonna actually advocate for like
Oh, of course. I'm not going to say stop doing
drawing
it,
some kind of line, like actual lines to say we're like,
yeah,
this stuff is art and this stuff isn't. Because if we do that, then that's just not going to turn out well for anybody.
I like to say to myself that I don't believe it's art, right? Because I kind of have a few things that say what is art, what's not art. So for me, something that is art is something that has meaning behind it, that tells a story in a way, and in some way took something from the artist's heart to make, right? That's kind of how I view it. That's just me, right? Not everyone has to take it like that. Not everyone has to see it like that.
But you see,
okay,
that's the whole issue, is because the idea of like there being meaning behind it, like meaning is a non-physical concept. So like a person can claim that there's meaning behind it, but like you can't see into their heart and mind and know if there actually is to them meaning or not.
If it is, kudos to them. That's their art.
Yeah.
Like, if you legitimately are just somebody that because your name is this name, and you know now that you're in the game and you can just do something and make millions of dollars, it vexes me. Because somebody that I like, for example, like some of my friends or my family that are really good at art, quote unquote art, right? Don't get recognized over somebody that definitely doesn't care nearly as much. You know, that's why I would be upset. But I digress. Kind of getting away from the point here, which is stories about that stuff. But no, that Whataburger, you think you know the one I'm talking about, specifically called A Lot of Memories for, I think, our group.
The 380 one, yeah. Well, because it's right on the way for our New Year's Eve walk, and I see there is a good story to tell from that one on the year that you weren't there.
Yeah.
The problem is I have little to no memory left of it, but like I just remember how just how ridiculous it seemed to walk in and order the amount of nuggets that we were getting for the first time.
Oh, this year's gonna be bad.
And there was like, I know this year's gonna suck. By the way,
how many is it?
I don't want to think about it right now. I don't know. I don't remember. It's written down in our notes. But look, just the first time we did it, there was more of an audience, and there was like a different guy who was there just ordering his own stuff. And we walked up to the waitress and like ordered our giant number, and he was like, "Hell yeah, guys, it's New Year's Eve, turn up," or whatever. And we really memed the whole experience. We knew like the names of the guys who were bringing us the nugs. There was like Reggie and frickin' I think maybe Phil was one of them. I don't know. But like I think there's even a conversation that we had with these guys or something. I don't remember. Like I said, I can't even tell the story. But and then the time that you were there, that was still equally funny just because we spent so much time in there. And
we spent like at least 2.5 to 3 hours just chilling.
I know, it was ridiculous.
It was fun.
It was. We just gotta time it better this year so that we don't end up having to do that.
That was so funny because we had to wait until we can't really go into any more than that until we have to explain like the process.
No, we're not about to try to explain the New Year's Eve process.
I'm not going to talk about what I was about to say, so we'll wait till another date to, if we ever get to that, to say that. But.
I think the long-time listeners might remember that we did promise and then go back on our promise of a New Year's Eve podcast last year.
Oh, don't worry, it exists, but you'll never hear it.
Yeah, it exists, but like Archer and I explained this on a Father Time episode, it exists, but it will never be released for a multitude of reasons.
There's too many to name.
But I think that was just a sign that we're not even meant to have any type of New Year's Eve podcast. I don't even think we should have a podcast solely committed to trying to explain what it is we do and why. Like,
I sort of feel that the New Year's Eve podcast would be a good thing for us to do, but only for us, because it's just funny to go back and listen to how bad it was.
The New Year's Eve podcast is like the podcast equivalent of me and Paulie's attempt to remake Eminem's Rap God into the parody song Meme God, where we got like a quarter of the way through and just gave up, and we haven't returned to it in like 5 years, even though the document still exists.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Like, I just don't think it's one of those like unreachable heights that I just don't think we're ever actually going to get to. I don't think the New Year's Eve podcast is ever going to be something that, like, I don't know. It's nice in theory. It's messy in practice. I think that's maybe the best way to sum it up.
That's a pretty good way to sum it up. It's pretty bad. I don't even think people would necessarily enjoy it. We enjoy it because of what we went back and listened to. But like,
yeah,
I don't think it would be enjoyable for other people to listen to it. If it would be enjoyable, it'd have to be highly edited, and even then, I don't think it would be that fun. But for us,
no,
I think it's fun.
yeah.
But I guess let's kind of round it back into a little bit more fast food areas. Do you remember getting
remember when we said we were gonna have more focused podcasts?
Yeah, I know, right?
And then we just didn't.
It happens. Do you remember when were you there with me whenever I first got the Dr. Pepper shake?
I don't know. Start talking. Maybe I'll remember.
I think it was the New Year's night, but I dipped my nugs in Dr. Pepper shake. I remember that.
Oh man.
This was back when the Dr. Pepper shake first came out, and I either got sick because I shared it with somebody. I think I got it when I was on like a trip for theater. I don't think you were there actually. And I shared it with a certain somebody who was awesome. He was sick and I got sick. It was really funny because I was like, oh, this is so good. That like, even though I knew he was sick, I was like, I'll take it. Because he didn't want the rest of it. I ended up getting screwed over because it was really funny. But
yeah. I mean, look, life is short. Sometimes you gotta drink your sick friend's milkshake.
It was worth it. Every little bit of it was worth it. It was so funny.
I can't believe they finally got rid of it, dude. They discontinued it this summer.
My heart. I only get to have like Whataburger like once a year, so it's like it's very special when I do have it. It will unironically have been a full year since I've had Whataburger whenever I go back.
Well, that's what we're doing. First day you get back, then we'll go to Whataburger.
Okay. Yeah. You want to meet with my parents?
Yeah, for sure, dude. I'll do it. Bet.
I'll drive into McKinney first, and I'll go in with, and I'll see you guys first, and y'all better be ready to go to Whataburger, and then I'll drive from McKinney to my parents' house.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and see, the funny thing is, like, it's the exact opposite for me. I probably go to Whataburger more frequently than any other fast food place, but like, it's still just as special to me. Like, I'm a pure-blooded Texan in very few ways, but my devotion to Whataburger is certainly one of them.
Do I know your order?
Do you know my order? Try to guess my order.
Okay, so let's do like 20 questions except with Whataburger meals.
Okay, hang on. I got like 7. I'm so ready for this. Okay.
Are you ready? Okay.
Yeah.
Does it contain chicken?
No.
Okay. Does it contain hammed burger?
Please don't. Yes.
That's the question.
Just don't call it that.
Does it have Swiss cheese on it?
No.
Does it have American cheese on it?
Yes.
Is it basic?
You're asking the right questions. It is hella basic.
Is it the normal Whataburger combo with medium fries and a Dr. Pepper?
No.
A
Dr. Jer.
Is it a Coke instead?
Yes. Yes.
Is that your order entirely?
Yes.
Wait. Is it a large Coke?
It's whatever size they give you.
Okay, which is always usually a large.
I think, yeah.
I find it really funny that it only took like 6 questions for me to get.
Well, I didn't think you were gonna have to even do 20 questions. I thought you would just know. Like, I am the most
I knew
basic.
You were basic. I was wondering how basic, because you can either be basic as in patty melt basic, or you could be basic as in like simple Whataburger basic.
No, I am pure basic white girl. There's nothing special about me. Do you know
my order?
No, I don't. I honestly don't think I have the slightest clue what your order is.
I've gotten it enough times that like if you remember any of the times that we did Whataburger together, which are so many times, and you remember the
that's the thing. I don't. I know you get some. It's what?
Not on the normal menu.
Well, then how the hell am I going to guess it?
You can't see, because it's. Do you not know what it's called? Like, okay.
No.
Think of my heritage from when I was youngin', very youngin'.
Like Mexico young?
Getting close.
Okay, so, but Whataburger doesn't have... Wait, does Whataburger have tacos?
I'm gonna slap you in the face. Oh my gosh.
Okay. Look,
think of a city that is in Mexico as well as in America. One of them is in Cali.
Fernando. There was something in the air that night.
Shut
The
up.
stars
Stop
were
talking.
bright. Fernando.
Be quiet.
Oh my god, Jared, I'm never gonna guess this. Okay, you're giving
Monterey
me
melt meal, you horrible, horrible friend.
what is it?
The Monterey melt meal.
Monterey is a city in Mexico and California. I don't. Why would I know that?
Why would you not know that?
Because I haven't been to California or Mexico in years, and both times I was there in both places, I was not old enough to care about looking at the map or anything,
You've never been
and
to
I was
Cali.
not in those cities.
But at least it was on the Whataburger menu. Well, it's not. It's on the head.
But it's not. You just said it's off menu.
Dude, I feel like I've said that
Look,
so many times.
look. Here's what I knew. Here's what I knew about your order. I knew it was a sandwich, and I knew that there was a lot of stuff on it. Like I knew you weren't basic.
That's okay.
That's what
fair.
I
It
knew.
does have a ton of stuff on it. What's the drink at least? This one should be easy.
I don't know. Are you a Dr. Pepper guy?
Yep.
Is that what you get? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's easy.
See, when I have to get, I think I know things about my friends, but then when it comes time to guess,
Oh my goodness.
I second guess
just
and
do
I
a 20
triple guess.
questions episode.
That's gonna be.
That'd be very funny. Like an actual 20 questions episode. I think it'd be interesting.
Yeah.
But
we'll
yeah,
put it on
so that's my order. I'm not basic. I get a Monterey melt with a Dr. Pepper or a sweet tea, depending on the day. Typically it's with a Dr. Pepper with large fries, and that Monterey melt is going to be half eaten by the time I'm done talking, and then I might finish it. I never finish my food on time. Hold on 1 second.
But you do finish it, right?
Doing a podcast, my guy. I'm sorry. But yeah,
you do finish it, right?
I do finish it sometimes. Usually the only thing that's left is like maybe a bite if I'm super full.
Sure. You've become what we were criticizing earlier.
And then after that, I take it with me and I eat it at home.
Okay.
I never throw it away. I'll never throw it away. That doesn't happen.
Wait, what is the longest? Okay, because I always finish it, at least at Whataburger. I don't. What is the longest you've ever waited to finish it? Do you have like leftover Whataburger? Like you freaking like wait a few hours?
I just wait a few hours and I eat it usually.
So what does like leftover cold reheated Whataburger taste like?
I don't reheat it. I just eat it.
Oh, okay. You're kind of.
I just pop it. Like legitimately, it's usually just a bite. So like if I'm driving home and the 15 minutes for my stomach to settle as I'm driving home, I'll grab it out of the wrapping and throw it in my mouth.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. So, you know how it is, bro. But yeah.
But you know what not only did they replace the Dr. Pepper shake, but what I was going to say earlier was they brought in the peach milkshake instead. And like, I don't know if you've had a peach shake at Chick-fil-A or I don't know of any other place. Some other places have probably done them before. I know Chick-fil-A does them. But like, peach is just the worst fruit to make a milkshake out of because like the flavoring just isn't strong enough to really be noticeable. Like strawberry, you freaking know it's there. Okay, you may not like it, but it's there. And peach, like I tried the Whataburger peach shake when I found out that the Dr. Pepper one was gone. It's just like there's just nothing there for me. You know, the Dr. Pepper shake was like a woman who is like giving you a massage, like I'm here for you, babe, that type of thing. The peach shake is like the relationship is so distant, you know, and I just don't feel cared for by this milkshake.
What? Evan, what are you talking about?
Listen. As I was talking, that random ass freaking
you just kept going. I thought you were going to stop and start laughing, but you were like diving deep in.
That random comparison popped into my head, and somewhere in the back of my conscious, I was like, "Let's see if I can sell that comparison," and then I just jumped on it.
Guess so. A distant woman's touch versus a masseuse.
No, a distant woman, a lack of a distant woman's touch because she's distant. Like I
guess
I don't.
So.
Like, whereas a Dr. Pepper shake is like a full body massage with a happy ending, a peach shake is like, I don't even get to hold her hand. Like, it might as well be a long distance relationship at this rate. You know.
I uh, I
And
guess
then
so.
like the other shakes, like the standard vanilla, chocolate, strawberry, like those are like good relationships. They're not like, top tier, but like there's nothing to complain about. It's not like,
Mhm.
I'm unhappy in those relationships.
Yeah, I
You know,
understand.
yeah.
Mhm. I get that. I'm so baffled that that was the thing that your brain somehow picked up on. I don't know. Let's just move on.
Dude, I didn't mean to. Okay, I didn't. This was not premeditated in
Yeah.
any way.
Let's try and move a little bit away from Whataburger because we've been talking about that for a considerable amount of time.
Okay, if you say so.
So, but I kind of want to stay on the shake thing.
Okay.
Which weird brand has come up with a shake that has surpassed every other shake in terms of like taste, consistency, and amount for the price? Like, which one? Because I know that the Whataburger had the Dr. Pepper shake, which was their big thing. I know
Yeah.
that McDonald's had the Coke shake, which was their thing. I
I
haven't
actually
heard
didn't
of another
realize they
shake.
did that.
I know that Sprite did like their Baja Blasts with Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
Which one of those like do you think really nailed it and did the best out of all of like the things? Like if you could really
Well,
think
I'm
about it.
actually I'm the wrong person to ask that because out of those, I've only had Dr. Pepper shakes because I just
Oh.
don't go to
Mhm.
McDonald's ever. Taco Bell, I don't frequent. Like,
Yeah.
and when I do go there, like I've never had a Baja Blast because I hate Mountain Dew,
Yeah.
and I was unaware that the McDonald's ever did a Coke shake, or I would have tried
Apparently
it.
they did a Coke shake and it was always sold out. So
Okay, well there you go. So even if I'd wanted
apparently very
to,
difficult to get and they're pretty good. So
uh,
I never
but
had
yeah,
one either.
I
That's why I
mean,
was wondering.
my guess in terms of here's what I can say. I could say that based on what I like about the food at each restaurant, then Whataburger's still going to take number one
Okay.
because I think
Even if
Whataburger
that
has
Coke
the best
shake
food.
is Coke and you like Coke a lot.
Yeah,
You're an
I mean,
addict, if one would say.
Coke is my number one soda, and I snort it a lot. Sorry.
Okay, you could have just said you didn't have to make that reference.
Watch Coke Addiction on EvCo Productions main channel, please. Thank you.
Yeah, I already put out the other video. It's fine.
Uh, Coke is my number one soda, but I am not loyal to. I'm not loyal to it in terms of like in other drinks. For example, I know that I hate Jack and Coke, which is a popular mixed drink.
Okay.
Like
I
not
know
a
that
fan.
Sprite Cranberry and Malibu is a pretty messed up drink to take on your first time.
I mean,
I'm still salty about it.
Hey, is that entirely my fault?
Yes.
Do I care? Not really. Not really, because
It
I
made
could
for a good
handle.
night. It made for a really good night.
It turns out I could handle it, and you couldn't. So I don't know, Jer. I guess I'm more of a man.
You also drank probably like a fourth of what I did. So
I don't recall you drinking that much.
I had about 7 or 8 shots.
All right, well, so then it's not entirely my fault.
You're right. It was my fault mostly. In fact, you
Yeah.
guys encouraged me to not continue. Polly said stop about 4 shots in.
Which is easy for Paul to say because it takes like an ungodly amount for him to feel anything.
Quick question: were you and Polly asleep on the cot?
Yes.
Okay, that explains it. I remember
And
waking up and seeing
look,
that,
look,
and then
here,
immediately getting sick.
I'm okay with going off on this tangent because like, so in every one of the many times that I have stayed over at Archer's house, New Year's included, we've just flat out slept on the floor with whatever pillows and blankets we could scrounge. We've never cared. Mm-hmm. For some reason, we decided this last New Year's to not just get out the cot, but Paul and I were like, we're going to share the cot. And it's not that big a cot, first of all.
Oh my gosh, was Paul actually a little bit gone? Like, I can't tell. I feel like he was just being Paul. I knew you were a little bit, like, fuzzy.
I was a little bit gone, or I wouldn't have agreed to it, because, like, the close quarters in which me and Paul were, like, never been that close to him before. And the odd intimacy of him offering me the Cheetos, followed by, like, 5 minutes after I said, nah, I'm good, and then me going, actually, can I have some? And then him just, like, pouring the crumbs into my hand. Like, I don't know, it was all a little too You know,
Let me put it into perspective. Um, I woke up to what I say is my guardian deity standing over me. Um,
Archer.
yeah.
Yeah, because he was the only one who was like Paul. I think was mostly again sober, but he didn't care enough to really help. Archer's the only one who was like, I'm gonna take care of everybody
Archer
here.
wasn't even sober, was the best part. Archer had
Yeah,
drank quite a bit as well.
yeah,
But he was pretty good. He held his liquor fairly well. I, on the other
yeah.
hand, drank altogether too much. It was not good alcohol, and so when I woke up, I thought I had drank enough water. Apparently not. Um, I didn't know that Malibu was much like lighter fluid, so it stays on the top of your stomach where the water is. So when I woke up, I was like, I have a massive headache. I'm about to throw up, and I'm still drunk. This sucks. So I was like, and I got on my knees and I tried to stand, and that wasn't happening. So I was crawling my way to the bathroom with Archer standing beside me like I was a dog, as I'm crawling my way hands and knees to the bathroom, and I get to the toilet and just vomit everywhere. And I go back, and Archer walks me back to the spot that I was in and puts the blanket on me and says, "You good, bud?" Yeah. And he's like, "Okay, man, have a good night." And he pat my head and he went to sleep. And then I was like,
Archer's just the best host, man. Like
he
that's
is, dude. He's by
what he
far the
does.
best host, man. Like,
I see.
unironically.
I was Paul and I were already on the cot by the time all this happened, and like I don't think I was asleep. I think
Well,
I heard it all,
I woke
but
up to you
like
guys being on the cot, and like you were just sitting there, like, and you were like snuggled up, and I was like, "What the hell is going on?" I thought I was still
um.
dreaming because there was a bag of Cheetos.
Look. I'm just gonna say. By the way, snuggled up though. That's a little too graphic of a term. Okay, there was no spooning or cuddling going
Weren't you
on.
on like opposite sides?
Yeah, we
Okay.
both turned our backs to one another.
Yeah. Okay.
Like Paul, like I'm pretty sure the instant he laid down, just turned on his side, and I was like, yeah, good call.
Just the look of you guys, because I remember all I remember is doing the podcast, and then waking up to seeing you guys on the
Yeah,
cot, and instantaneously I was like, "What happened? Why am I on the floor? Why am I not talking still? Why are Evan and Polly on the fucking cot, and why is Evan off the cot almost, with Polly taking up the entire thing?"
because Paulie's ginormous and I'm not.
Exactly, and I thought that was hilarious. There was also a bag of Cheetos just chilling in one of your hands. I don't remember whose, but it was
Yeah, it
there.
was probably mine because Paul was eating all the Cheetos, and like I said, he offered me some, and then I said no at first, and by the time I got ready, I was like, actually, I want some. He said no, they're all gone. He handed me the bag, and then I just like got the crumbs that was left, and I probably just fell asleep with the bag still in my hand.
It was a pretty good night, all in all.
All in all, petition to make the thumbnail for this video that picture of you in the mirror with Archer as you're throwing up.
Oh my gosh, is that do we have that?
Archer has it, yeah.
Wait, here's a picture of me throwing up.
Not like actively in the act of throwing up, but just like post you throwing up. Like he's
never
got a
seen this.
selfie, he's got a mirror selfie of him, and you're just there in the corner on your knees giving a weak thumbs up.
I've never seen this.
What are you talking about? You've never seen this?
I don't remember this at all.
Oh my god! Text Archer and tell him to send it to you.
Oh my gosh, I
It's
want to save that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be the thumbnail.
It's a golden picture, dude.
So we'll label this episode basically a Whataburger and something else. So, fast food and fast drinks or something like that. Something
Fast
along
food and fast women.
fast food and no women. Ooh.
Too real, too real. Too literal.
One day we're gonna get a female friend, and it's gonna happen for
No,
some.
we're not.
If it ever does, though.
No,
If
we're
we
not.
ever do somehow find a female friend, I know it won't happen, but if we ever do, we can finally say fast food and fast women.
Why do you think I keep pressuring you and Polish to bring your respective sisters into an EvCo video? It's because that's the only way we're ever getting a female in
They're
on this
also the
thing.
only two females that we know that are chill enough to not be like annoying.
No, I know non-annoying
You know
females.
more. I don't, because I don't know any females. I only know my sisters
Yeah.
now, dude. Like, I don't know any other girls. That's how bad it is. I legitimately have not been able to talk to like a girl for real in so long.
That's what military does to you.
It is so sucky, dude. Because
Mhm.
like, I was friends with Lainey. I haven't talked to Lainey in 3 years. I wish I had friends again, like friends that weren't just dudes. It's been hard, man.
Girlfriends.
I don't even want a girlfriend, man. I just want a person that's not a dude to talk to. I think I've mentioned this
Interesting.
sentiment before. Because you can only
Well,
handle
I mean,
you can only handle so much of dudes
yeah,
before you start to go slightly insane. Like
not
legit.
me, but like,
That's kind of sad, Evan.
like for me, if I'm hanging out with guys and I get like tired of it, that just means that I need to go home and just
Evan, you haven't spent a
recharge.
year without talking to a single girl, have you?
No, because I wasn't a dumbass and I didn't sign up for the military.
Well, who's gonna have a good job in 6 years? Probably both of us. But I
Dude,
digress.
dude, I don't care what happens in 6 years. We could be dead in 6 years.
Damn it! Why are you gonna make it real? I'll be
Well,
okay. Don't worry. I'll meet somebody someday, and she'll be fun, but not today.
well, we have officially regressed back to a season 1 quality of
Alright, how about we just cut
the
that entire
podcast.
last
So
part out and call it a day?
that's a good decision. I think we should do that. So,
Oh my
on that
gosh.
note, this has been Fast Food with Fast and Furious. I've been fast.
I've been women,
No, Fast and Furious. You're furious.
and we were fast and women.
Fuck.
Thanks for watching.